Welcome to Coming Home. I am your host, Dr. Onalee, and it is my intention to support you to recover from narcissistic relationships so that you can step back into your power, your beauty, your worth, and eventually attract in your soulmate. The concept I want to share with you right now is done is done. It doesn't matter if it took you 15 times, 19 times, 20 times, 5 times in order to fully be done with the narcissist. What matters is that you eventually got to the point where you were done. Maybe you unblocked them. Maybe you've taken a course on narcissistic relationships. Maybe you've been listening to the podcast. Maybe you've done therapy. Maybe you've done coaching and you still somehow reopened the door. Maybe you texted your ex. Maybe you unblocked them and you looked at their photos. Maybe you looked at the supplies page. Maybe you checked to see when they were last active on WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger. Whatever the case may be, I want to ask you right now, how are you feeling about it? Did they respond to you? Did they give you the response that you were hoping for? Or did you feel a little bit empty after a few days have passed? Did you then feel guilt and shame and embarrassment and feel like you are going 2 steps backwards? If that's the case, I invite you to let go of all the guilt, all the regret, and all the shame. In my journey, every time I went back with the narcissist, or I reached back out to the situationship, or I unblocked them again, it always brought me more clarity of how this relationship wasn't serving me, of how this relationship wasn't my dream relationship, of how this relationship wasn't fully happy and healthy. Each time it showed me a little bit more that this was never fully going to be the relationship that I hoped for. And even though for me it took a few times to fully close the door, each time where I reopened the door, it was leading me closer to get to the point of the final closing of the door. There are many relationships where I have now where I don't even think about this person. I have nothing but gratitude for the fact that I'm not with this person. But there was a time where it felt like I could never fully close the door. I would always get back together, break up, get back together, break up, get back together, break up. And I was in this cycle and this pattern and this dynamic for many years with different people. They all had different behaviors too and different dynamics. And that's why it was really hard to spot. I did a lot of therapy and a lot of coaching, and it was really hard to get down to the root of it. But at the end of the day, I saw that I had a pattern of really struggling to keep closed doors shut. Once my nervous system would calm down or some time would pass, I would start to ruminate and think about the good times. Or my compassion would kick in and I would understand why they did what they did. And I would let them back in and I would forgive them and I would give them another chance, or I would reach out hoping that it could work this time. And what I can say now, so far on the other side, is that I don't have to be mad at myself for any of the times where I reopened the door, because they all led me to getting to this point. And you never know which time is going to be your final time where you say, I am done. This is it. I am baffled. I am mortified. I realize I accept they are never changing. I'm going to grieve this relationship. I'm going to mourn this relationship, or I'm at least going to grieve and mourn the hope that I had for this relationship, which is why most people don't fully close the door. You could right now probably even logically tell me why this person is not good for you and how they've lied to you, cheated, ghosted, not picked you, invalidated you, made you feel like an option. Are you resonating with that? Are you feeling like I'm speaking directly to you? You logically know all of this and you've gotten to the point where you've closed the door, or you've walked away, you've separated. Maybe you even end up breaking up with them, moving out. But somehow you still got back together with them, or you gave them another chance, or maybe you're in the process right now where you're still staying or still giving them a chance or still ruminating and thinking about the good old times. Each time where you get back together or you reopen that door, it is only to bring you contrast and clarity so that it is at the forefront of your brain and your subconscious mind. What if this time really was the last time? Or what if it takes one more time and then that finally is the time where you close the door for good and you're not even angry about it? I've seen for myself and a lot of my clients, the ones who finally are actually done and they actually break the cycle and pattern are the ones who just got exhausted, the ones who just got to full acceptance, the ones who were complete and utter defeat. Whenever I tried to shut the door when I was really angry and really baffled and my feathers were completely ruffled and I couldn't believe it, that was when I never kept the door shut. I would say that I was going to, and I would slam the door and I would block the person or say that I'm done, but I never kept the door shut. The only times in my life where I've quit certain things and I stayed off of it was when I was just exhausted. I couldn't take it anymore. Maybe you're at that point. I pray for you to get to that point. The point where you can just be in full acceptance and surrender, where you finally have squashed all hope. It's not lingering around in your mind of what this relationship could one day be. You're just so exhausted because you've spent 10 years, 7 months, 4 years, 20 years, 32 years holding on to hope of this relationship and getting disappointed and hurt year after year after year after year after year. Being in these relationships are hell on earth. And it's very hard for other people who aren't in these kind of relationships to relate. Just like if you're an alcoholic, it's very hard for you to relate with other people who don't get it, who are able to stop, who are able to quit on their own. They don't understand you. It's the same thing with narcissistic relationships. People don't fully know what's going on. These relationships can be very isolating, very damaging. This is why I approach them like an addiction. This is why you logically know what to do, but for some reason you're still stuck in it. You're still ruminating about this person. You're still thinking about what this relationship could have been. I am a very big supporter on not cursing the crash with the narcissist. I don't even tell my clients they're wrong or they're bad if they go back into contact because I've seen it enough. I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of clients over these years where if a client comes to me and after the first session they tell me that they're done, then the second session they tell me they got back with the narcissist or they let them back in, I always know by the third or the fourth or maybe even the fifth session that that was exactly what they needed to finally show them that they were done. I'm a very spiritual person, if you cannot tell, but I truly believe God brings to me the people who are fully ready to be done. By the time somebody gets on a 30-minute session with me, they might not know exactly how to fully leave, but I know that they're ready. They wouldn't be an energetic match to being on a phone call with me because I attract people who are ready to be done. I don't tell them to be done. I've had a lot of people tell me they did finalize their divorce or their separation or whatever it was. And that might scare you right now. But I'm not here to play small. I'm here to talk to your soul. I'm here to talk to the part of you who knows. I really trust that God leads and guides and directs the perfect people to me who are wanting support, who are praying for a solution. I believe that's truly how God, the universe, really works. We put it out there. We have a prayer. And then it's our job to stay open and ready for the mentors, the coaches, the healers, the therapists, the authors, the support that starts to conspire in your favor and move towards you. But we also have free will. And it also takes a lot of courage to act on it. But what I know is that I attract in, especially my private clients, the ones who are really ready to recover. Almost all my private clients, not all, but most of them have been divorced, or they're going through a divorce, or they're contemplating a divorce. I never would tell somebody to get divorced. I would never tell somebody leave their partner. But what I do is I hold a powerful space for my clients' own answers to come to the surface, for them to get their own clarity. You are smart. You're empathetic. You're powerful. You have a gut knowing. You have heart's desires. You get the butterflies in your stomach. You get the gut drop when somebody's lying to you, when somebody cheats on you, and you know. I work with people like that. And my intention right now of bringing all of this up is that you start to trust your intuition and your gut a little bit more. You start to realize there's no coincidence you're listening to this podcast right now. There's no coincidence you and I are both an energetic match to be in this conversation right now. There's something within you that resonates with this. My invitation for you is, if you feel pulled and called to this work, continue to listen to some of these episodes. See what resonates with you. I have plenty of free master classes. I'm about to bring out some paid master classes. I have my No More Narcissist 4-step recovery program, which I'm actually in the works of refining. There's group coaching. There's one-on-one coaching. There's other courses. There's things. There's programs. There's courses. I'm here to meet you where you're at on your soul journey, to help you come home to yourself, to help you come back home to who God created you to be. I truly believe when you're living in alignment with who you're supposed to be, narcissistic people fall out of your life. Unhealthy patterns, addictions, health issues will start to fall away. That's who I'm here to help. So I'm grateful that you took the time to get here. I'm grateful that you've invested in yourself. I hope that you make a move. I hope that you take the next step. I hope that you don't just ingest this information and just sit on it. I hope that you take an action step that moves the needle forward. I hope that you remember that you're not alone. I hope that you remember that you're worthy, that you're beautiful, that you're capable. And the biggest thing I want to leave you with right now is that this life is temporary. We're not going to make it out of here. So why are we worried and stressed? Why are we staying in relationships that are so unfulfilling and emotionally and verbally and mentally and sometimes financially and physically abusive? Why? Why? Sit and contemplate. What do you want the next chapter of your life to look like? The rest of your life to look like? Your story. I pray that you get your happy ending where you have peace and love and joy and abundance. I pray that you get to be with your soulmate. I pray that you get to experience real love. And I pray more than anything that you come home to yourself and truly become who God created you to be. I hope you have an amazing night, rest of your day, wherever you're at. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to work together further. Go ahead and check the link in the show notes. Share this with somebody if you feel like it's going to resonate with them and support them. And I look forward to connecting in the next episode.